I teach sociology for high schoolers, 11th and 12th graders, and so I found a PowerPoint on SlideShare about what a society is, and that's one of the building blocks that we start with in sociology. So in this PowerPoint, this is a violation of Coherence Principle 3, avoid e-lessons with extraneous words. In this PowerPoint, particularly in the two slides that I'm looking at, they have too many words on the page. They are using complete sentences and unnecessary details that could be trimmed out to make a better presentation. Both on the What is Society page and on the following page that goes more in depth on some characteristics of society, there is too much text, which can be very overwhelming for the learner, and it would be better served to reduce the amount of text, trim out some extraneous words so that it's a more digestible bit of information for the students. So I've used Google Slides to try and demonstrate a way to solve this problem of the extraneous words. I have created two slides with conveying the same information about the characteristics of a society, but I've trimmed out a lot of unnecessary words. So overall there are much fewer words on each slide. Still gets the same point across, also includes a graphic or an image, but it does it in a little bit more simpler way, so the learner won't be overwhelmed, there won't be too much information that they're trying to process all at once. So both in this slide and in the next slide, I think it gets to the point a lot quicker. Also includes an image to help drive home that point. I think that you also want to be careful, though, not to violate Coherence Principle 2. You do want to avoid having too many or extraneous graphics or images, so I just stuck with one image on each page. Rather than trying to make the point through having several images on the page, it's a combination of a little bit shorter words with an image. That way the reader, the learner, won't be as overwhelmed when they see a large amount of text on the screen. I found that when my students in high school are making presentations, this is one of the biggest problems they have. They pack their presentations with lots of extraneous words. Sometimes that's because they're copying and pasting from a source on the internet somewhere, which obviously needs to be avoided. But sometimes they're just using too much words to express themselves. They're writing incomplete sentences where they could use bullet points and short notes. And so I always try and point out to them, think about what you would want to read if you were the learner and the presentation was something you were watching. Would you want an entire slide filled with words, complete sentences, and things like that? And so I think that for my students, Coherence Principle 3 is one of the things that's most important for them in terms of creating their presentations. It's also something that I try and keep in mind anytime I'm going to be lecturing, that I don't want to overwhelm my students with lots of extraneous words on the page. In a lot of cases, especially with my students in lower level classes, seeing a lot of words on a slide can immediately turn them to get them to shut off, shut down, and not pay attention or try and engage with the lesson. Having an image in there can certainly help engage some of those kids, although of course, again, you don't want to have too many words, too many images, too much going on any one slide.